Ever wondered which hero is perfect for climbing? Want to pick a hero that will keep you winning no matter the patch? Today we are unveiling the ultimate one-trick option that will help you beat those 1000-star kills. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video we are here to check out all the best heroes to one trick based on MLBB official states. One trick can be fun, but do you know what else is? Joining our Kazuki Plus. Yup folks, our membership is live and you can get it for as low as you're coloring in the hot scorching sun. Not only you will get exclusive content here, but we also have a private group for members only. So come join and let's have fun together. Before jumping into the details, let me explain how we have selected these heroes. This isn't your average list based on personal preference or gut feeling. Those heroes were picked based on heart states. They all have a win rate above 50%, a pick rate above 1%, and a ban rate below 30%. The states are pulled from the Mythical Glory Plus rank over the past 30 days to ensure we focus on heroes performing at their peak against the best players.
Wonderful!
If you are planning to one-trick any of those heroes, it's important to invest time in mastering them. Try them in classic matches to learn their combos, mechanics, and optimal builds before you climb the rank ladder. Now let's start with some honorable mentions and then move to the best heroes you can one-trick right now. First, let's highlight some heroes who didn't meet all the criteria but are still worth mentioning. Sun is an incredible split pushing and damage dealing hero with a 50.41% win rate and a 1.71% pick rate. His ability to pressure lanes forces the enemy team to respond, often disrupting their rotations, and bursting his enemies makes him a great hero to one trick right now. However, his 39.83% ban rate makes him a risky choice as you may not always get the chance to play him. If you do, focus on pushing lanes and forcing objectives rather than joining team fights. And also try to flank your enemies and catch them off guard. And make sure you build Thunderbolt stacks. It is super easy to build on him. Selena is a high skill cap hero with a 47.22% win rate and a 1.41% pick rate. She shines in the hands of players who can consistently land her abyssal arrow and use her traps effectively. However, her lower win rate indicates she is better for players willing to put in the time to master her. She still is a great hero to pick for one trick. Since this data is for 30 days, Selena P-buff states are also in there. I could have put her in the main list, but she takes some time to learn and master. So I think it's better I keep her here. The next hero who didn't quite make the cut is Alpha. All of his states are great, but his win rate did really let him down. I don't know why his win rate went down. He's a great hero and you can one-trick him to climb. Next we have CC. Man, she was so close. I would have put her in the main list if her win rate was just above 0.15%. It was that close. Her recent states after the buff are great, but a rule is a rule. Because it's always better to one-trick a consistent hero instead of a hero who goes up and down. Finally, Melissa is an underrated marksman with a staggering 56.42% win rate. Her pick rate is just under 1%. Yes, her pick rate was 0.99%. So freaking close, I was almost about to add her, but decided to put her here. Because again, a rule is a rule. But her ability to dominate in the right hands makes her a fantastic pocket pick. Use her ultimate to create space in fights and capitalize on her high attack range to chip down enemies from a safe distance. Now let's get into the main list for best heroes to one trick right now. First up is Irithel. If you're looking for a marksman who dominates in the late game, look no further than Irithel. With a 55.06% win rate and a 2.69% pick rate, she is one of the most reliable damage dealers in the current meta. Her unique ability to attack while moving gives her an edge in kiting and dealing sustained damage during team fights. To succeed with Irithel, focus on farming in the early game to get your core items. Position yourself carefully during fights, keeping your distance from assassins. Time her ultimate wisely to unleash devastating burst damage. Building critical damage and lifesteal item will ensure she can sustain herself in long fights and continue dishing out damage. Now let's move on to Hylos. Hylos is a tank that brings immense utility to his team. With a 53.04% win rate and a 1.64% pick rate, his durability and crowd control abilities make him a reliable frontline hero for team fights and objective control. Whether initiating or peeling for your team, Hylos is always a solid choice. To play Hylos effectively, use his glorious pathway to set up fights or help your team disengage. Build mana and cooldown reduction items to maximize his ability uptime, allowing him to disrupt enemies with his stuns and slow effects. As a tank, your primary role is to absorb damage and create opportunities for your team, so focus on staying alive while controlling the battlefield. Up next is Sicilian. Sicilian is a mage who scales incredibly well into the late game. Boasting a 52.88% win rate and a 4.37% pick rate, his long-range abilities make him an excellent choice for poking and zoning enemies, while staying safe in the backline. However, he is highly dependent on farm and positioning, so he requires a patience and methodical playstyle. At Sicilian, your goal in the early game is to farm and build stakes to enhance your damage later. Position carefully in team fights to avoid being targeted by assassins, and use your second skill to slow and trap enemies before following up with your ultimate and first skill for massive AoE damage. Timing and map awareness are crucial to maximizing his potential. Let's move on to Xavier. Xavier is a flexible mage with strong crowd control and burst damage, sitting at a 51.42% win rate and 2.55% pick rate. His global ultimate allows him to impact fights even when he is not physically present, making him a unique and valuable asset to his team. When playing Xavier, prioritize hitting as many enemies as possible with his ultimate during team fights to turn the tide in your favor. His crowd control skill is great for disrupting the enemy's positioning, so timing is key. Stay behind your team tanks and bruiser to avoid being caught out, as positioning is crucial for his survival and effectiveness. Up next is Kazuki. If you enjoy playing tanky initiators, Kazuki is an excellent choice with a 52.38% win rate and a 2% pick rate. His ultimate provides a massive AoE stun that can lock down multiple enemies, making him a strong pick for team fights. To make the most of Kazuki, focus on using his ultimate to engage or disrupt the enemy backline. Build items that enhance his durability and magic damage to maximize his effectiveness in fights. Practice landing his skills to ensure you are always contributing to your team's success, whether by initiating or peeling for your carries. Let's move on to Mia. Mia is a reliable marksman with a 52.78% win rate and a 1.38% pick rate. Her ability to deal consistent damage and her ultimate's immunity makes her a great pick for players who enjoy traditional marksman gameplay. When playing Mia, focus on farming early to build your core items. Her ultimate can be used both offensively to reposition in fights and defensively to escape danger. Positioning is key for Mia, as she can deal massive damage when left unchecked, but is vulnerable to assassins and divers. Up next is Yi Sunshin. Yi Sunshin offers versatility and map control, with a 52.12% win rate and a 1.21% pick rate. His global ultimate is great for scouting enemies and dealing damage across the map, while his hybrid playstyle allows him to adapt to different situations. To succeed with Yi Sunshin, use his ultimate strategically to gather information about enemy positions and apply pressures across the map. Switching between melee and ranged form based on the situation is crucial for maximizing your damage. Focus on taking objectives and maintaining map control to secure a lead for your team. Let's move on to Moscow. Moscow is a marksman with a high attack speed and the ability to pierce enemies with his basic attacks. His 51.31% win rate and 1.09% pick rate makes him an excellent choice for players who enjoy fast-paced, high-damage gameplay. When playing Moscow, aim to knock enemies into walls with his second skill for a quick stun. Build attack speed and critical damage items to maximize his sustained damage in fights. Stay behind your team and focus on kiting enemies to ensure you can deal damage while staying safe. Now it's time for Suyou. Suyou is one of the most broken heroes from his release, and I think is the best hero for you to one trick right now. Because not only will he not get nerfed until all the Naruto skin comes, I don't think he will be off the meta even after the nerf, because the hero concept itself is quite broken. 6 skills with a load of dashes and deal a lot of damage. Finally, we have Phoveus. Phoveus is a counter-pick specialist who thrives against heroes with dash abilities with a 52.7% win rate and a 1.04% pick rate. He is a strong choice for players who enjoy disrupting mobility-heavy enemies. To play Phoveus effectively, position yourself to punish enemies who rely on dashes. His ultimate is key to locking down slippery opponents, so always be ready to capitalize on their movements. Building durability and physical damage items will allow you to sustain yourself in fights while dealing consistent damage. So guys, what do you think? What other heroes do you think are best one tricks for this meta? Are you a one trick player? If so, which one? Comment down all your answers below. So that will be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.